Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Contender Series Week 9. Now, there are currently 5 MMA bouts on this card. The first fight of the night is between Danny Sabotello and Taylor Moore. It is a bantamweight bout. Then the next fight we have is Luana Pinheiro versus Stephanie Frausto, which is a women's strawweight bout. Then we have Joseph Lowry versus Nicolas Mota, which is a lightweight bout. Then we have another lightweight bout between Shaheen Santana versus Landon Quinones. And then in our main event of the evening, we have Marius Kizarkiewicz versus Mario Souza. It is a middleweight bout between undefeated Marius Kizarkiewicz. He is 8-0 versus 11-1 Maria Souza. That main event should be a very, very good middleweight bout. But first, let's start with the first fight of the night between Danny Sabotello versus Taylor Moore. Now, as I said, it is a bantamweight bout. Danny Sabotello is currently 27 and a half years old. Taylor Moore is 27 years old. So, I mean, there's not really that big of an age difference. So, age is not going to play a factor in this fight. Now, they both have the same height, the same reach as well. So they're pretty much equal fighters on the height, reach, and age. You know what I mean? Like they're pretty much equal there. And if you go to Tapology, out of 135 votes, which is, I mean, it's not that much votes, I have to say. But 87% of the votes are going for Sabotello to win this fight, mainly by submission. Some people do think this fight's going to go all the way and that Sabotello will win this fight by decision. But most people on this fight think that he's going to win this fight by submission. 13% of the votes are going for Moore, mainly by decision. So the main consensus is either this fight's going to go to decision and Sabotello's going to win, or this fight's going to go as a finish and Sabotello's going to get a nice submission win. And they're saying the main way that Moore is going to win this fight is by decision. And I mean, that kind of makes sense. I mean, if you look at Taylor Moore's previous fights, out of literally every single one of his fights, he has 3 decisions, 2 submissions, 5 knockouts. So he has a lot of power. He's okay at his submissions. Only 3 of his fights have gone to decision. And I mean, if you look at his record, his first fight he won by unanimous decision, then got a nice first round knockout. Lost his next fight in a main event in 4th round knockout. Came back with a 3rd round knockout, 1st round knockout, 2nd round knockout. Lost his next fight after that by split decision. Came back with a 1st round knockout, 1st round knockout, then lost 2 unanimous decisions, and then won 2 unanimous decisions, and then finally got a 3rd round rear naked choke submission. Now, after all of those wins, he's finally getting this shot on the Contender Series. If you could tell, you look at his record, most of his earlier wins have come by knockout, but once he kind of left those earlier promotions and joined like the WXC or the TXC or one of those bigger promotions like that, he's been kind of changing his game up. He's not really trying to get the knockout. He's trying to more win the fight by unanimous decision. So if he's going to win this fight, I definitely think he's going to have to go out there and try to get a unanimous decision win, because I don't think it's really a good opportunity for him to get a knockout in this fight. Danny Sabotello, he's 8-1. His only one loss has come by 4th round knockout to a very good fighter in Erwin Rivera. But I really don't think that he's gonna knock Sabotello out in this fight. I think Sabotello has a pretty good chin aside from that one fight against Erwin Rivera. I mean, if you look at Sabotello's record, I mean, this dude's absolutely awesome. 1st round submission, 1st round knockout, unanimous decision, 1st round knockout, 1st round submission, 1st round knockout. In Titan FC, and then ended up fighting Erwin Rivera, who is in the UFC right now, doing pretty good actually. Lost that fight by 4th round knockout, but then really picked it up after that with a nice 3rd round arm triangle choke submission and a 1st round rear naked choke submission. If you look at this guy's record, only one of his fights has gone to decision. So I'm really expecting Sabotello to go out there and try to get a finish in this fight to propel his career inside the UFC. So that's kind of what I think Sabotello is going to do. I think he's going to go in there, try to get a knockout actually, but I don't think he's going to get the knockout. I think in the 2nd round he's probably going to be like, oh, I can't really get the knockout anymore. I'm going to go for takedowns and go for submissions. And I actually think he will get a submission in the 2nd round. Alright, so the next fight we have is between Luana Pinheiro versus Stephanie Frausto. I'm gonna give you the info straight. Luana Pinheiro, 7-1, 26 years old. 5 foot 4 inches tall. Stephanie Frausto, 30 years old, 5 foot 2 inches tall. Stephanie Frausto, 8-6 as a pro in MMA. You look at her record. She did fight some okay competition. Like Ashley Cummings, she lost to her by unanimous decision. She lost to Jamie Rivera in Bellator by third round TKO. She honestly gets knocked out or submitted a lot. If you look at her 6 losses, 2 have come by submission, 2 have come by decision, and 2 have come by knockout. So honestly, she's very prone to getting finished in her fights. She could definitely finish you in the fight, but if you're fighting someone like Luana Pinheiro, who's 7-1 in MMA right now, just getting first round knockout, submission. I mean, she's gonna go out there and go for submission after submission in this fight. I'm very confident Pinheiro will get a submission in this fight, maybe in the first or second round. All right, so the next fight we have. After those 2 first ones, which I kind of predict are going to end in submission probably in the second round, we go to our third fight of the night between Joseph Lowry versus Nicolas Mota. This fight is actually pretty good. I say this fight's probably the closest fight on this card. Joseph Lowry is currently 9-1. Nicolas Mota 11-3. Joseph Lowry is almost 31 years old. Nicolas Mota 27.5 years old. They're both similar heights at 5'10" for Joseph Lowry and 5'9" for Nicolas Mota. To be honest, this fight is definitely a very close fight. Nicolas Mota and Lowry, they both have really, really good power. You look at their record so far. Joseph Lowry, he goes out there and he just goes for knockouts. His first fight, knockout. Second fight, decision, okay. Next fight after that, second round rear naked choke submission, then unanimous decision, and that's when he started to pick it up with second round knockout, first round knockout, unanimous decision. Getting him a shot in the Contender series back in 2018, but he did lose to Devontae Smith, and then came back with another first round knockout. This guy has some power. He's going to go out there and try to get a knockout in this fight. Nicolas Mota kind of going to be the same. You look at his record, literally every single one of his wins have come by knockout. 8 knockouts, 4 decisions. Pretty good. If you look at his 3 losses, though, first round knockout loss, second round guillotine choke. So he doesn't really have the best chin, and I think Joseph Lowry can really capitalize on the fact that Nicolas Mota's chin is pretty weak, to be honest. And I do think Joseph Lowry can definitely crack Nicolas Mota in this fight and get the win by knockout in the second round. Alright, the next fight we have is between Shaheen Santana, who is undefeated at 6-0, versus Landon Quinones. This is a lightweight bout. It's a pretty good fight. Shaheen Santana, 29.5 years old. Landon Quinones is currently 24, almost 25 years old. Age is obviously not going to play a factor in this fight. Now, the people think that Santana is just going to go takedown after takedown, go for submissions, go after submissions, and it makes perfect sense. You look at his career so far, first round armbar. First round submission, second round guillotine choke, decision win in Titan FC over Lee Henry Lilly, and then a first round rear naked choke submission over Tai Kalista. Landon Quinones, on the other hand, he goes out there and he tries to go for knockouts. His first fight was a draw, actually. Came back with a first round triangle choke, then a second round knockout. Lost his next fight after that to Muhammadjon Naimov, who just recently was on the Contender series, but he lost that fight by split decision. Very close fight. Came back with a first round knockout, unanimous decision. Both of these guys have pretty good power, but definitely Shaheen Santana is going to have the huge advantage on the ground. I don't really think he's going to get a submission in this fight. I think this fight's going to go all the way, and I have Shaheen Santana winning this fight by unanimous decision. And that leads us to our main event of the evening, Mariusz Kizalkiewicz versus Mario Souza. Now, as you guys know, Mariusz Kizalkiewicz is currently undefeated at 8 wins, 0 losses, and 0 draws. Mario Souza has 1 loss. Okay, that's cool. He's got 1 loss out of 12 fights. Mario Souza, I mean, if you look at his record, first round knockout, I'm going to keep saying it, first round knockout, third round knockout, first round armbar. Those were his first 7 fights, alright. His next fight after that was a loss, actually, to Leonardo Silva, a pretty good fighter in Brazil. Came back with a nice decision win over Josiah Lustosa, then a first round knockout, second round armbar, and first round triangle choke submission. Mariusz Kizalkiewicz, a little bit different, as he's kind of more of a submission guy. Just look at his record. First round rear naked choke submission, unanimous decision. Rear naked choke submission in the first round. Second round rear naked choke submission. Second round at TKO. First round elbow knockout. Third round rear naked choke submission. And then first round rear naked choke submission. This fight is pretty even, I have to say. Mariusz Kizalkiewicz, definitely much better on the ground. Mario Souza, definitely much better on the feet. Now, I do think that Marius Kizarkiewicz is going to have a little bit of trouble getting Mario Souza to the ground and going for submissions on him. But I think once he gets that one takedown and starts going for submissions, that's pretty much it for Mario Souza. I think he will dominate for the rest of the fight, and I think Kizarkiewicz will win this fight by unanimous decision. Alright, so those are my predictions for this fight card. I have Danny Sabotello winning by second round submission, Luana Pinheiro winning by second round submission, Joseph Lowry, I'm kind of stuck between what I think he's going to do. I think he might get a first round knockout or a second round knockout. I'm not really sure. Shaheen Santana, I think he will win this fight by unanimous decision. And Mariusz Kizarkiewicz, unanimous decision. Alright, so those are my picks for Contender Series Week 9. Should be an amazing card. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe. It's been an amazing video. I'm out of here.